Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's TJ Donald, alongside with my partner, Aiden Weiss. Tonight, Hendricken Hawks face off against the Cumberland Clippers. Your Hawks are 1-0 heading into the game with a 27-7 win last week against the Crescent West Falcons. The Hawks, led by senior captain Tom Camella, look to continue their streak and their championship defense. Aiden, what do you have for us?
Well, last week the Hawks played especially well against Cranston West, and this week they're hoping to continue that with the rushing attack. Cumberland allowed 230 yards last week, so hopefully they'll be able to run on that defense.
Cumberland's led by starting quarterback Dante Avile Santos, who is 6'1", 175 pounds. The Hawks are led by their four senior captains, Tom Camella, as mentioned, the starting quarterback, Jake Picard, a starting offensive and defensive lineman, Angel Sanchez, a starting wide receiver, and James Gobelwol, starting as captain in place of the suspended Tom Camella. Nick Camella was suspended for 2 games after last year's hit in the Super Bowl. He is expected to return next week. A standout player to look for tonight is starting defensive end Jason Onye, who over the summer received an offer from University of Michigan, where famed star Kwity Paye attends. He also received an offer from Boston College. The Hawks get ready to kick it off. And we are underway now. The Clippers will start at about the 19-yard line. Once again, led by senior quarterback Dante Avile Santos. The Clippers are going to start off with twins to the far side of the screen, line up in shotgun. Coming around on the first play, and number 28 is now stopped for a no-yard gain. The Hawks are starting out in a 4-3 defense with sophomore standout Brandon Duran, number 42, starting at the outside linebacker. Duran's received multiple offers, all for baseball, most notably from Rutgers and Boston College. Coach Croft said last week he thinks Duran could be ready to start both sides of the ball soon, but doesn't want to put too much pressure on the sophomore. Avile Santos going to keep the ball and will be stopped. 3rd and 9 now for the Clippers. Angel Sanchez is at the top of your screen at the cornerback position. Normally we see him at safety, but tonight we see starting wide receiver Andres Andujar back at the free safety, and number 8 Isaiah Emanuel at the strong safety position. Jake Picard, number 58, the starting defensive lineman and offensive lineman captain, as mentioned previously. Over the summer, attended a football university camp, most commonly referred to as FBU, which is where Xavier Truss, one of the linemen at Georgia, who also went to Bishop Hendricken, got to showcase his talents to multiple big-name colleges. There's now a flag on the play. Which I believe is going to be a false start on Cumberland. Never mind that, folks. It's a delay of game on Cumberland. Oh, it is a false start. Santos looking under pressure, and the pass is batted down and intercepted by Jake Picard. Picard scores a pick 6. How is that for a start for Picard? Jake Picard, that defensive lineman, with the pick six on the first pass of the game.
Not well read there by the Cumberland quarterback. The screen pass was well covered, and 58 made a great play.
There was very good pressure there from the Hawks defense. The batter's down pass fell right in the hands of the waiting Picard. Cole Peterson now to kick the PAT. And the kick is up and straight through the uprights. The snap held by sophomore David Lynch. Hawks are now up 7-0. Cumberland's not going to receive the ball after the interception. Vial Santos, one thing he should do is definitely just keep his head in the game. Still aching to get our first look at quarterback Tom Camella for Hendricken. Tom caught a 40-yard touchdown pass last week to Andre Zanduhar. Looks to continue a strong run. Coach Croft told me last week he does have a lot of schools looking at him right now, but has no official offers. The same with Angel Sanchez. Peterson ready to kick it off. The kick goes for a touchback. The Hawks defense back out on the field after that interception. Aiden, what do you think the keys for the Hawks are going to be tonight?
Well, one thing they should probably do is keep up that defensive line pressure. Last drive, Cumberland was really stifled by that, and I think one important thing is just hold on to the ball so Cumberland can't get anything really going on offense.
Jake Picard, after the interception on the last drive, is not out on the field. Lyle Santos going to hand it off. And that's about a 5-yard gain. Which makes it 2nd and 5 now. It was a little over a year ago that backup quarterback Zach Laverne tore his ACL against Cumberland. I am expecting Laverne to play a little bit tonight. I don't think we're going to see him a lot, though. Santos with the run, which will gain about a yard. The Hawks man get out in full force tonight with the USA theme. Santos bringing the play to the huddle. The Hawks defense out in a 4-3 with 4 defensive backs. Santos going to look to throw. Pass will be caught for a 10-yard gain, which makes another first down for Cumberland.
Good play by the Cumberland wide receiver to set himself up in the zone there. Nothing much you can do about that if you're Hendricken.
The Clippers back out in shotgun formation. Santos is going to take the snap, going to hand the ball off. And the running back will be through the hole for about a 7.5-yard gain. The Cumberland offensive line doing a good job opening up a nice hole there for a very nice game.
Cumberland runs the ball for a 7.5-yard gain.
As again, the Hawks Band Gate is out in full force tonight with their USA theme. Second and 3 now for the Clippers. Cumberland with 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Gonna hand the ball off. And he is stopped for a 1.5-yard loss.
Stop there. Hendricken defensive line finally got some more pressure on the ball carrier.
Hendricken defensive line is definitely one of the more stronger parts of their defensive game. Seeing as a lot of the linemen, including Jason Onye and Jake Picard, are all 2 candidates for big scholarships. Onye Jr. only played in 2 games last year, but played the entire Super Bowl. Coach Croft said last week he wants to see Onye as an every single play kind of guy, as in every single defensive play. Santos going to take the snap, going to run the ball, quarterback keep. He's going to run for about a 4-yard gain with the first down.
Cumberland with a 4-yard gain for the first down.
Looks like Cumberland's going to attack Hendricken this game with more of a rushing attack. Not too many passes so far. They might have been scared off after that first pick 6.
Cumberland is a run-heavy team. And the offensive line doing a great job of opening up holes. Santos going to pitch the ball. The running back is going to be through the hole for about a 5-yard gain. Cumberland has a lot of momentum here.
Now past midfield. Just chipping away with short little 4 and 5-yard gains.
And sometimes, Aiden, that's all you need.
5-yard gain, Cumberland.
Santos bringing the play to the huddle. Santos back in shotgun with 2 receivers split to the right and 1 to the left. And that's Jason Onye right there jumping off sides, which will give Cumberland another first down.
Offside, Hendricken.
One thing I learned from my football years is that if you're a defensive end, just watch the ball.
And that will be a 5-yard penalty. Also resulting in a first down.
Cumberland now with the first down at the Hawks' 42-yard line. Santos going to take the snap, going to hand the ball off to the running back, who will be stopped for a no-yard gain.
Great play there from the Hawks line. Got through the O-line that time.
Santos bringing the play to the huddle. The Clippers going to line up with trips to their left. Going to bring number 10 in motion. Hand the ball to him. And number 10 on Cumberland will be stopped for a 1-yard gain. For a no-yard gain, leading to a Cumberland 3rd and long.
That's what they have to do, force Cumberland to these passing downs, because they haven't been doing much of that so far.
Now, this is a situation where, obviously, on the last drive, you saw the pick 6 from Jake Picard. Aiden, do you think Cumberland's going to pass here?
I would think they would, but I think it's going to be more of a dink and dunk and hope that their guy jukes out the entire defense for a first down. Expecting a screen here.
Either a screen or most likely a slant across the middle, maybe with one receiver going deep. Who knows? And a referee's timeout, I believe. Or Cumberland going to change formations. Santos going to look to throw. Caught by number 13 on Cumberland.
Looks so far like 13 has been Cumberland's best receiver as they keep trying to target him.
With the reception for a first down.
Hawks, the Clippers picking up another first down. The Clippers going to break the huddle. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Line up in the shotgun-heavy offense. Santos trying to draw the Hawks offside. Going to take the snap. Going to hand the ball off to number 2, who will be stopped for no gain.
Onye got into the backfield there very quickly and caught the running back from behind.
Jason Onye, one of his strengths is his height and his speed. He is a basketball player and did start for a couple games for the varsity team last year. Something coaches have wanted to see out of Onye is his footwork, however. I want to see him get a little bit faster and a little bit quicker on his feet. Clippers with the same formation as the last play. With 2nd and 10. Santos going to look to throw. And incomplete.
That bad pass. That looked like there was a miscommunication between the quarterback and 10. I think Avilo Santos thought that was going to be an out route there, but 10 ran a hitch.
A little bit of miscommunication there, as you said, Aiden. One of those things that if you want to be such a strong team like Hendricken, you really cannot afford.
Well, so far this drive on both 3rd down plays, they ran that hitch route with 13.
2:48 left in the first quarter. Santos going to take the snap, going to look to throw again on 3rd down. Going to throw it up for number 10. Incomplete.
Out of bounds.
4th down and 10. The Clippers look like they're going to go for it on 4th and 10. I did not get a chance to catch the kicker for Cumberland pregame. Fourth down and 10 now for the Clippers. The Hawks defense needs to step up.
Again, I'd watch for that hitch route from 13. He's on the right side in the right spot to catch it. They keep trying to find the soft spots in the zone for 10-yard chunks on these third and longs.
And there's a flag on the play. Offsides on Hendricken.
Offside Hendricken. 5-yard penalty.
Bringing out to the Clippers with a 4th and 5. I expect another short pass here out of the Clippers, seeing as the deep ball hasn't really worked for them so far.
Rough penalty there for Hendricken. They had a really good situation with 4th and 10, but now it's a 4th and 5.
Santos going to throw again, under pressure. Going to lob the ball up, and that is caught for a touchdown. Number 18 for the Clippers, which gets the Clippers back in the game now, 7-6 Hendricken.
Great throw there by Avila Santos on the run, and he made a perfect spiral to the corner there.
Nice lob pass there. The Clippers going to kick the point after. A beautifully drawn up play right there by the Clippers head coach. Looked like somebody jumped. Kick is good, however. There's a flag on the play, I believe, on Cumberland. Offsides on Hendricken.
Third offsides of the game. Hendricken really needs to cut down on those.
Yeah, it's one of the things that will kill you in later game. Clippers going to kick again, and the kick is up and good, right to the uprights. Clippers tie up the score now, 7-all, with 2:07 left in the first.
Cumberland is good. Tying the score.
Something important to mention, folks, it's the 60th anniversary homecoming game versus LaSalle on October 5th. On October 4th versus Cox. Sorry. You can look on the Hendricken website for more information. Hendricken.com/homecoming. The game is always one that fans look forward to. So yes, the Hendricken-LaSalle rivalry is considered one of the biggest in the state. Cumberland with a squib kick now. And we picked up by number... That was number 15. Ball picked up by number 13 there on Hendricken, excuse me. Now we get our first look at quarterback Tom Camella. Leads the Hawks in their first offensive drive of the game.
Nearly got through the entire first quarter without seeing him, too.
1:58 left in the first. The Hawks with a shotgun-heavy offense break the huddle. Wide receiver number 81, Andrew Nolan, the 6'2" wide receiver out of Warwick, Rhode Island, on the bottom of your screen. Camilla lined up under center now. Going to hand the ball off. No, he's going to keep the ball. Even faked me out there. Camilla going up the sideline. That's why he's the #1 quarterback in the state right there. There is a player for Hendricken down, though. That was a 60-yard touchdown for Tom Camella. I believe that's Jake Picard down on the field for the Hawks. This does not look good. This does not look good at all for the Hawks. Injury timeout for the Hawks. Folks, I really don't know what happened there. Training staff working on Picard, I believe that was.
I don't think so. I think I see 58 down there.
That is not Picard. Yep, I do see Picard's number 56. I couldn't make out who it was.
Number 75.
Number 75 for the Hawks down there. Looks to be his leg. That did not look good. He was in serious pain there. The training staff led by Joe Maynard, considered one of the best at what he does. We'll give you an update as soon as we know what's going on, folks. They faked the point after, which is intercepted by number... Oh, it is not. Oh, that was...
He could
That
have
was
taken
dire
that
for
back.
the Hawks there. If he had held on to that ball, the Clippers could have scored 2 there. Did not really expect that. It's now 13-7 Hawks with 1:38 left in the first after a 60-yard run by Tom Camella. Cole Peterson getting ready to kick it away for the Hawks now. Peterson, freshman year, was a 3rd string on the Hawks freshman team. Was able to turn himself into what's some to highly be considered one of the best all-around players in the state. Peterson's kick is up, which will lead, very good kick there, to up at the back of the end zone, leading for a touchback. Hawks defense back on the field now, hoping to redeem themselves after that last touchdown by the Cumberland Clippers. The Clippers ate up a lot of time there on the clock. I'm sure Coach Croft is not too happy about that. The Hawks bug out in a 4-3 defense. St. Joe's going to keep the ball. Going to hold a run there. And gain about 5 yards. Michael Smolin injured Hawk on that last drive. Apologies for the sniffles, folks. I am a little bit under the weather. The Hawks back out in that 4-2 defense with number 40 Tegan Jeremy coming up to play defensive end. Jeremy, the sophomore, going to back up. And that is about a 4-yard dump and run play for the Clippers.
It's like a first down.
And the Clippers do gain a first down there on the 4-yard play. St. Joe's going to take the snap now, hand the ball off to number 3, the running back, who is their primary back. Or number 2, sorry. Who will be stopped for, I believe, a 1-yard loss. That's what it looks like.
He had a sliver of daylight at first, but he ran into his own lineman, and that really slowed his momentum.
And it is the end of the first quarter now, with your Hendricken Hawks 13 and Cumberland Clippers 7.
Cumberland 7. Know someone who couldn't make the game? Tonight's contest being broadcast live on Facebook and YouTube at Hendricken.com/live. Brought to you by the Hawks Broadcast.
A reminder, if you know someone who can't catch the game live in person, remember they can always check out Hendricken.com/live for all the home games. The fall season includes varsity soccer along with varsity football. In the winter season, primarily usually just basketball. And in the spring, as most people know, there's a lot of sports that go on in the spring with lacrosse and others that I cannot name off the top of my head at the moment. The Clippers with a 2nd and 2 now. Bring the offense back out onto the field. You don't bet on Michael Smolin as soon as we can. St. Joe's going to take this snap, going to look to throw. It's number 10, who is going to be tackled for about a 3-yard gain. That is about a 5-yard gain, folks. St. Joe's getting the play from his coach. Winning the play to the huddle. Angel Sanchez at the cornerback at the bottom of your screen. Normally we see in the free safety position, but I guess decided to move Andre Zandovar there. Sandovar's going to take the snap by himself, going to run the ball, and will be stopped. Which brings us to a 4th down for Cumberland.
Wouldn't be surprised to see them go for it here after thinking about doing it on a 4th and 11 last time.
Cumberland looks like they're bringing out the punt team now, which surprises me. Another honorable mention for you tonight, folks. Number 42, Brandon Duran, as I mentioned earlier, is normally one of those guys that's in a lot of the defensive possessions. Duran last year started and tips the punt. Duran, coming out of Somerset, Massachusetts, one of those players that last year on the freshman football team was named as MVP in the freshman Super Bowl. Duran tipped the ball there, which if he had blocked the entire ball, could have been bad for the Clippers, seeing as they're already down 1 touchdown. Hawks offense back out on the field now. 1st and 10 on the 49-yard line.
Crazy how we've gone into the second quarter, and this is only their second offensive play.
Yeah, Wade and Cumberland has taken a lot of time with their offense. And the officials, something's going on here. Don't really know what just happened there. I believe Cumberland called for a trainer. I honestly don't know.
Oh, muff snap.
Cumberland fumbled the ball. Well, there's still for room to run and is tackled for a 3-yard loss. Tom Camella almost lost a snap there, something we don't normally see out of him.
Looked like the snap was a bit to his right there.
You know, people underestimate the center position, or underappreciate, I rather should say. Being a center is probably one of the more harder positions in the game. You have to have the most consistently out of almost anybody, besides the quarterback, obviously. And the offense pretty much relies on you to have a good snap.
And usually the center calls out what kind of formation the defense is in, and if they're bringing
what kind of blocking. Yep, totally. Angel Sanchez, the receiver, wide out to the top of your screen. Camella in shotgun, receiving a play, an audible from his coach, I believe. Camella going to take a snap, going to hand the ball off. And going to... That's James Gobelwold with about an 8-yard gain there.
Hawks number 21, James Gobelwold with an 8-yard gain.
Third and 4 for the Hawks now. Camella lined up in shotgun with trips to the left. Sanchez in the slot. Camella going to hand the ball off to Gobelwold, and Gobelwold will gain the first down there. About a 5-yard gain. Another first down for the Hawks and a fresh set of downs. Come back out with trips again to his left. Line up in the shotgun.
Expecting the run here.
Well, takes a snap, hands, same play as last game. Gobelwold going to get room to run and gains about 6. Gobelwold starting in place of the suspended Nick Camella. Apologies. Keep messing that up. Trips to the left again for the Hawks. Going to take the snap, hand the ball off to Gobelwold, who run right past the center and will gain the first down there. Tripped up, but did gain the first.
James Gobelwold again with the first down.
Hawks back out with trips again to the left. I haven't seen this before. Camella going to look to throw under pressure, scrambling, looking down the field. That's caught by Angel Sanchez, I believe that is, who will dive right across the goal line for the touchdown. Never mind, there's a flag on the play, and that was not Angel Sanchez. Sorry, folks, cannot really make out who that was.
Holding there on the offense.
It does really explain why Tom Camilla had that much time under that kind of pressure. Scrambling, looking, down the field. Holding on the offense. That's caught by Angel Sanchez, I believe that is, who will dive right across the goal line for the touchdown. Never mind, there's a flag on the play, and that was not Angel Sanchez. Sorry, folks, cannot really make out who that was.
Holding there on the offense. Here to get to the first down.
Scrambling. Hawks now first and 20 at the 42-yard line.
Not the 48, the 38.
38, you are correct. That's my fault. Going to throw again. I'm going to do a quick screen to Jordan Robbins, who will gain a good chunk of yards there. About 8 on the throw.
Number 13, Jordan Robbins with the reception.
Jordan Robbins, one of these guys who didn't get much playing time last year on varsity, and that was expected to be one of their keys this year. The Hawks have a very strong receiving core, obviously led by Angel Sanchez, who I've mentioned plenty of times. Angel was a candidate for Gatorade Player of the Year last year, along with many Hendricken players. We're going to look to snap with twins to his left. Number 2, Helio Souza going in motion. Camilla going to look to throw again. Going to throw to Andres Andujar. Andujar will gain about 5 there on the throw. If Camilla had thrown that just a little bit sooner, Andujar did have a lot of room there. It's a 5-yard reception.
Number 11, Andres Andujar with the reception for a gain of about 5 yards.
5:40 left in the second quarter now.
They're in about 5 here. This should be pretty manageable for them.
Andujar coming off the field now, holding that left arm of his. That does not look good for the Hawks. Andujar does seem to be in some pain there. We'll give you an update on that as soon as we can. I don't know what happened there. I believe he just came down wrong.
Looks like a timeout here.
Andujar on the sidelines now, getting worked on by that training staff. I don't know who took the timeout there. I don't know if it was an official's timeout or a team timeout. Hawks offense getting set now on the 3rd and 6. Hawks are out with twin receivers to the right, with Andrew Nolan, the sophomore, being split out wide. And the Hawks fumble the ball. Camilla still gets the ball, however. Camilla's tripped up, and there is a flag on the play.
It's like another hold. Yeah, it's another hold there.
Another holding there on the Hawks.
Really having a tough time with penalties so far.
That's going to make it about 3rd and 15 now for the Hawks.
Even with the hold, it was a great play by Camella there to even pick that, have the awareness to pick the ball up and still run with it.
I thought Goebel had dove in on the ball. Camella in the backfield all on now. Definitely expecting a pass here. Now, if this pass isn't incomplete, we have seen Cole Peterson hit field goals like this before. Camella going to look to his throw. Under pressure, going to roll to his right. Camella doesn't know where to go. Still on his feet. And does gain about 10 yards there on the run, but not enough. 4th down now for the Hawks. Now with 4:27 left in the second, I would expect the Hawks to kick a field goal, but you don't know.
Bit deep here. I mean, this is probably about a 50-yard field goal at least. It looks like they're going to go for it here.
Hawks, you are right. The Hawks are going to go for it now. Camella bringing the play to the huddle.
This is still they've got a long way to go here. About like still 15.
There is plenty of football left. Hawks looking to get another score now to go up more than just 6 on the Clippers.
Wouldn't be surprised if they try to take a deep shot here to one of their taller receivers.
Andrew Nolan, 6'2", taller wide receiver, split out wide to the bottom of your screen, and that is a timeout called. Timeout by the Hawks.
Looks like they're not going to go for it.
Timeout Hendricken. Bishop Hendricken transforms boys in ways they never imagined, challenging them to become, to do more, and to dream more. Find the Hawk in you by joining us at our activity.
Folks, I should also mention that if you can't catch the game live in person or live online, you can check out sports articles on the Bishop Hendricken Talon, bhhshawks.org. Usually I'm the one who writes them, so if you want to read it, go ahead. Andres Andujar on the bench now with his head down. Does not look good for the Hawks.
Helmet off as well. Doesn't look like he'll be coming back in at least until the second half, and maybe not for the rest of the game.
Try to get you an update at halftime. Hawks offense back on the field now.
I think they will go for it. Wouldn't be surprised to see them try to involve Sanchez. He's only caught one pass, and it was called back due to a holding penalty.
Sanchez coming in motion. Going to go look deep. Wide open. Caught, but no. Did he catch that?
Fight for the
I
ball.
think he caught that.
Tie goes to the receiver.
The pass was knocked away, and he came down with it. That's a touchdown for the Hawks. I believe he, yeah.
Mitchell's deliberating right now to talk it over whether that's an interception or.
Now, I shouldn't have spoken self too early, but the pass was deflected, or rather caught it, bobbled it, and I believe he came back down with it.
In general, usually tie goes to the receiver, so I think the Hawks should get this one.
And a touchdown for Hendricken. Number 13, Jordan Robbins with a phenomenal catch there. A phenomenal catch by Robbins there. Going for it on 4th down pays off for the Hawks, who are now up 19-7. Peterson out to kick the point after. Snap to David Lynch, sophomore. Kick is up, and it is straight through the uprights. Good.
The point after is good. 20-7 Hawks.
Score is now 20-7 Hawks with 4:14 left in the first half. Aiden, what are some of the strengths that you've seen on the Hawks throughout this first half?
Well, I mean, their offense has been a little bit inconsistent here, but, I mean, they're still scoring. Scored 2 touchdowns by the offense, 1 by the defense. Defense, besides that one drive, has kept a real stronghold on the Cumberland defense, and Cumberland really can't get much going. So we'll see what Cumberland can do in this last drive, but it seems like they haven't been able to pass the ball too well, and that's what they need to do in the 4-minute drill. So we'll see how they do here.
Tom Camilla is considered highly one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the state behind Cranston West quarterback Cameron Alves and LaSalle quarterback Nathan Lucier. Where he ranks among those two, I can't really tell you. Unbiased, at least. Camilla is a big threat. As big of a threat as he is with his arm, he's a huge threat with his legs. As we saw earlier, Camilla able to pick up a fumble and gain 5 yards, but it was negated with a holding call. Cumberland going to return it to about the 30 now. Dangerous hurdle there. Hawks defense back out on the field now. Cumberland offense back out now. The offense is going to go no huddle with Santos taking the shotgun snap. Santos going to look to throw. Almost sacked there. Rolling to his left. Going to throw a deep ball down the field. Incomplete.
Drop there. Cumberland wide receiver had it in his hit him in the hands. Probably should have had that one. Hawks got a break there.
It's one of those plays where you could have gone either way, honestly. Could have been an interception, could have been incomplete, could have been a catch.
One strength that I've been really noticing from the Cumberland quarterback is that he's thrown great on the run. That was a great throw right there, even though it was dropped, and he threw a touchdown fourth and forever for Cumberland earlier in the game, while also on the run.
Santos' pass was a little bit underthrown as it looked like with the receiver on the post route. And going to pitch the ball off to the running back who will be stuffed for about a 3-yard loss, it looks like. It's a 4-yard loss. 3rd and 14 now.
Maybe even a 4-yard loss there, or 5. Really got pushed back there by the defensive line.
Hawks defense now going to be a quick pass by Santos to number 10, who will be stuffed.
4th down here. I would be surprised if Cumberland went for this one.
The Hawks with 5 defensive linemen out there and only one linebacker.
Yeah, it looks like the punt team's coming out.
Jordan Robbins going out back to return the punt with number 22 now.
Interesting thing about Cumberland, it looks like their quarterback is their punter.
I remember being at the Cumberland Hendricken game last year and watching him return kicks, so I think this guy can do it all. Santos
Almost
with a
blocked
nice
again.
punt to about the 35-yard line. Jordan Robbins going to take it back now cross midfield to, that did not, somebody just got hit on the sideline, I believe. Or that was very close there.
Looked like almost a late hit there from one of the Cumberland special teams players.
Hawks offense on the 43-yard line.
Set up well. That was a nice return there by 13.
Jordan Robbins, one of those guys who was at New Balance Nationals for track for the outdoor season, or the indoor season, sorry. Currently going to hand the ball off to Gobel, who will gain about 9 yards on that run. Camilla almost mishandled the snap again, which is something we don't normally see out of him. Obviously, playing in front of a big crowd at Hendricken can be stressful to anybody. If it's your 3rd year starting, or if it's your first game, it's one of those things that you just got to stay in the zone. Gobel with the run again. Looks like he'll gain the 1st down there.
Easily gained the 1st down. Probably got 5 or 6 out of that one.
151 now, one clock ticking now with about 1:45 left in the first half. Hawks up 20-7. Camilla going to break the huddle now. Line up with, I believe that's twin receivers to his right, including one in the slot. Number 8, Isaiah Emanuel going to run the ball.
Good gain of about 8 there.
Second and 3 now for the Hawks.
Isaiah Emanuel with a gain of 8. Second and 3.
We're set up now at about the 22-yard line. Less than 1 minute now left in the first half. Cumberland going to take the snap, going to hand the ball off again. Cannot tell who was on that run then on number 15.
They're really starting to utilize all the running backs.
Hawks back out on the offense. Camella. This is number 2, Helio Souza in motion. Camella going to look to pass. Going to dump the ball off to Souza. Ball is incomplete. Just over the head of Souza. Helio Souza, another one of those 3-sport athletes. Runs track and plays basketball. Both at the varsity level. Hawks back out now, going to go in motion. Camella going to look to throw once again, buying time. Going to dump the ball off to another touchdown for the Hawks. Number 2, Helio Souza.
Hendricken looks to be pulling away with this one now. 26-7 pending extra point.
It's about a 15-yard touchdown there. Camilla's 3rd touchdown of the night now. Peterson out to kick the PAT. The snap and kick is up and right through the uprights. .28 seconds left now in the first half. Hawks offense shoot a lot of time off the clock there. Peterson getting ready to kick it away. Hawks up by 20, 27-7. Final score of last week's game versus Cranston West. And the kick. Kick will go to about the 3-yard line. I don't know what just happened there.
Looks like a flag was thrown at around the 40-yard line by the official. Looks like a penalty on Hendricken. Man might have left early there.
Don't know what the penalty was there, folks.
It's like Hendricken's moving the kickoff back 5, though.
I believe it was offsides on Hendricken there. Coach Croft not going to be too happy about that. A lot of really dumb penalties tonight. Kick is up
And
to about the 12.
Go out of
which will
bounds.
go out of bounds at about the 8-yard line, but there is a flag on the play for the kick going out of bounds.
Cumberland's going to take the ball at the 40.
As you said, Aiden, Cumberland going to take the ball at about the 40 now. Scrambling after that. Looking down the field. Coach Croft not going to be too happy about that. A lot of really dumb penalties tonight. Kick is up
And
to about the 12.
Go out of
Which
bounds.
will go out of bounds at about the 8-yard line, but there is a flag on the... Once again, folks, I don't really know what that flag was. I know what the last flag was, but the one before that, I do not. Clippers going to take it on the about... Clippers going to take it on the 35 now. 26 seconds left in the first half.
Cumberland might really need a score here with Hendricken getting the ball to start the second half. This could be a 34-7 game by the end of Hendricken's first drive.
Santos going to be taken down. And I believe Cumberland's just going to let the clock run out now. And the Clippers will let the clock run out now as the second half comes to a close. It's your Hendricken Hawks 27, the Cumberland Clippers 7. And we're back with the second half of Hendricken Hawks football. Your Hendricken Hawks lead the Cumberland Clippers 27-7. The Clippers going to kick it away now to Hendricken with a squib kick. Going to be returned past the 30 by number 12, number 20. Number 22.
Down the sideline.
Down the sideline, still up, still going. Down to the 18-yard line.
18, wow. Great run back.
Great way to open up the second half there. Now, just in a moment, folks, we're going to be joined by Hendricken's brand new athletic director, head varsity basketball coach Jamal Gomes.
Number 22, Noah Dogan with an amazing return.
Hawks offense back out on the field now. Scoring 4 touchdowns in the first half. Hawks look to keep their momentum going. Something to note. Starting wide receiver Andres Andujar was injured in the first half. As I was along the sideline during halftime, I was watching his arm getting taped up, and he did not go with the team to. And Zach Laverne is sacked. Zach Laverne taking his first snap at quarterback after tearing his ACL almost a year ago against Cumberland. Back to Andujar. I believe it was an arm injury he had, and we were watching him getting taped up during halftime. I don't expect him to return tonight. Zach Laverne taking the shotgun stamped out with 3 wide receivers to his right. Going to take the snap, going to hand the ball off to Go Bowl. Go Bowl, we got a nice little run there. For a gain about 5 yards. 3rd and 10 for the Hawks now.
James Gobble with a gain of about 5.
Laverne starting the second half at quarterback in place of Tom Camella, who is not injured. I believe the Hawks just want to give him a rest. Laverne shotgun taking the snap, going to look to throw. Throw across the field to Sanchez. Angel Sanchez, who makes the catch for a 13-yard catch. Angel Sanchez's first yards of the night, 13 yards. Something when I talked to Coach Croft pregame last week against Cranston West, he said they want to utilize Angel Sanchez a lot more, especially for a player like him, who was considered the best player at his position last year. Julio Souza, the receiver to the far right. Sanchez in the slot. Laverne alone in the backfield. Emmanuel going in motion. Laverne hands the ball off to Emmanuel. Emmanuel's going to cut up field and will gain a couple yards there. Gain of 2 yards there for Isaiah Emmanuel. Laverne bringing the play to the huddle. The Hawks are carrying that momentum they had in the first half going into this half. Two receivers each side of Laverne, who's lined up in shotgun. Julio Souza going to come in motion now. Laverne going to look to throw. Scrambling, looking over the middle. That ball hit the ground before it was caught. So an incomplete pass there for Zach Laverne. Just 3rd and goal now for the Hawks. Laverne brings the play to the huddle. Laverne, it was almost a little over a year ago that he tore his ACL against his team. I'm expecting he wants a little bit of revenge, I'd say. When I talked to Coach Croft about Laverne last week, he did say that Laverne has made tremendous progress, and they're looking to utilize him a lot this year. Laverne going to look to throw, going to roll to his right, under pressure, going to dump the ball off.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Hawks. Number 81, Andrew Noland, sophomore wide receiver, makes his first touchdown of his Hendricken varsity career. Andrew Nolan, who I'm assuming is one of the taller wide receivers in the team. Zach Levert's first touchdown pass in over a year. Great to see a guy like him finally get what he deserves. It's a nice job by Levert, who rolled to his right and was able to jump off a pass right to Nolan, who was able to do a great job of keeping his feet in bounds. Peterson on to kick the PAT now. Kick is up and right through the uprights as usual. It is good. Hawks are now up 34-7 with 8:38 left in the third quarter. Hawks defense get ready to head back out on the field now, with the kicking team now out. Hawks getting ready to kick it away now. Aiden, what do you expect the Hawks to change now in the second half?
Well, I mean, judging by the score, there's really not too much to change. I mean, the one thing I expect Coach Croc talked to them at halftime was the penalties. A lot of holding penalties and offsides penalties and just stuff that needs to be cleaned up for them against like LaSalle and stuff, because you can't really afford those penalties.
Back in the end zone. Cumberland going to return it to about the 20-yard line. Hawks defense back on the field now, led by senior Jacob Picard and junior Jason Onye. Onye, defensive end to the closer side of your screen, the bottom of your screen. Santos in the shotgun, going to look to his right, going to pitch the ball. And the running back will be stuffed for about a 3-yard loss.
Really bottled up there. Defensive line's coming out strong this half.
The defensive line doing what they do best, putting pressure on the Cumberland offensive line. Andres Andujar with his right hand in a sling on the sideline now. Yeah, folks, I don't think he's returning tonight.
Short pass there.
Short pass incomplete there.
Avila Santos just underthrew it. Have to expect he's feeling a bit frazzled after that rough first half for him in the offense.
Santos, one of those guys who's a big threat in the passing and the running game, like most quarterbacks in Rhode Island. Santos under pressure, and he will be...
Got a throw off, it looks like.
That was it. Yeah, it looked like he was trying to pitch the ball to a running back there. I believe it was caught by one of the linemen.
Forward pass, though. Works out for no gain, but it looks like the punt team's going to be coming on here.
Fourth down, our punt team is coming on. Fourth and about 13. The Clippers need to score soon if they want to stay in this game. Down by 27. Not saying anything's over yet, but Cumberland does truly need a score as soon as possible. As promised, in just one moment, we will be joined by Athletic Director Coach Jamal Gomes, class of 1991. That's going to be a safety. I think that's going to be a safety
either
for
safety or
Hendricken.
touchdown. Points will be scored.
Was the punt blocked? I didn't see.
Safety.
Safety now for Hendricken. We're now joined by Athletic Director Coach Jamal Gomes.
Hi,
Coach,
guys.
how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Awesome.
Question for you.
Sure.
A couple, actually. What's the change been like going from just a head coach and a guidance counselor now to athletic director and head coach?
It's a great opportunity, actually. I have a chance every day to work with the best coaches in the state, the best student athletes in the state, at the best high school in the country. So I'm a very lucky man and very grateful for the opportunity.
Humble as always. What are some plans that you have for the future of this program now that you're athletic director?
Well, we have a lot of plans. I mean, last year we were voted by Max Preps Online the #1 high school athletic program in the country, so there's no pressure there for me moving forward. But, you know, I think there's a lot of things. We want to continue to be the best in the classroom because we're student athletes first.
Always,
right?
always.
Student comes before athletes. So our guys maintaining their grades, providing them with the opportunities to move on to great colleges and continue their careers and their, you know, athletically and most importantly, academically. You know, we're trying to make some changes with technology that our coaches and our school is using. We want to make sure we have the best facilities around, so that's going to be in our, you know, in our long-term plan moving forward is improving our facilities. In my opinion, there's a lot of things moving forward that we want to continue to improve. My goal is just to help things move in a positive direction, line that up with Father Marciano's vision and Mark DeCicio's vision and move from there. But I'm very blessed and very fortunate right now to be a part of our athletic program.
Awesome. So recently, you and your assistant athletic director, Coach Sheehan, started the new sports management club. What are your plans for that?
Well, we have many of our students in the building that are interested in pursuing careers in sports management. So Mr. Sheehan and I thought about putting this club together called the Hawk Sports Management Club. And right now we have about 25 members of the club, and our goal is to help provide them with experience in our athletic program in various ways and helping out the teams and broadcasting and keeping the clock and equipment management and all kinds of different areas to really to help prepare them for the guys that want to pursue that at the collegiate level. And right now we have some great enthusiasm with that, and we're hoping that's going to build and continue to grow, like what you guys are doing right now.
Yeah. So, I think I already asked that. What's the most rewarding part about being the athletic director now? What would you say, at least? You've only been it for a couple months.
Yeah, it's nights like this where our school community comes together to cheer on our student athletes and our coaches and helping them be as successful as they possibly can. I mean, this is a great opportunity for all of our school community and our student athletes just to take part in that. To me, that's what it's all about. It's bringing pride in the school community. And I think tonight's a great testament of that. We have a great crowd playing against a good Cumberland team here, and our guys are battling and giving their best. So for me, that's the most important. Best effort, bringing the community together, trying to make things better as we move along.
Awesome. Now, this could go into the plans for the future question that I asked earlier. Do you have any plans to try to get endorsements or sponsorships from companies outside of Hendricken?
Yeah. So we're currently working with our advancement office on improving our ability to work with local businesses, corporations in the area. And so we've started a program to help build that relationship with the local businesses. And doing that through basically a brand new scoreboard and advertisements and being able to promote the different businesses in the area, because we do get a lot of fans at our games. It's a great way. It's a great way to help businesses progress as well. So we do have a program in place currently, just this school year, where we're trying to bring in some businesses to become a part of our school community and become a part of our relationships here at Hendricken. And it's a great way for us to outreach with the community. So we're very excited to work with our advancement department as well as our local businesses.
That's always awesome. to you, what makes you, when you're interviewing a coach, what makes you want to hire that coach? What's important to you looking for in a coach, seeing as you are one yourself?
Faith. It's faith. You know, when we're looking at coaches, we want our coaches to have strong faith, strong character, and respect for our student athletes and the culture of our school. And I think that's one of the things we have done great over the years, is we hire the best staff that understands that.
That is very true.
And just like our coaching staff with our football team, they are outstanding. They're phenomenal. I get to see them at practice every day and how they interact with our young men and how they build that character. I mean, this is why this school is here. We're building character, men of the future that are going to go on and do great things. And, you know, that's with our football program, obviously, but all of our programs across the board. Character first, respect first, and then
All
everything else
important.
comes into place from there.
All important. Now, I asked you about a couple of players. Helio Souza and Jason Onye, you've coached them for the past couple of years. What's it like seeing them out here starting, being more than just basketball players?
It's awesome to see them because I know them individually as people, and they're both wonderful young men. Jason Onye, sweetheart of a young man.
They really are, yeah.
Then you get him out on the football field, he's a beast. I keep telling him I want to see the beast come out all the time. But Jason's
He's a big
awesome. He's
dude.
great in the classroom. Helio the same way. Helio's tough as nails, shifty, quick, athletic, coachable, wants to win. They're both winners. Angel Sanchez is another one of our
Yeah.
guys. Angel, another tough young man, and wants to win, wants to battle, and he's very coachable. So I'm very blessed to be both the athletic director and a basketball coach. I get to work with these guys individually on the court and see what they can do on the football field as well. It's pretty
always
cool.
nice to
It's
see
pretty
that.
cool.
Now, a question for you about Angel. As far as Coach Croft has told me, he hasn't received any offers. He has a lot of schools looking at him. Would you like to see him go to a school for football or basketball?
Well, I think if you asked Angel, which is most important, Angel, he would tell you he's a football player first. The beauty about Angel, he's just an awesome athlete and an awesome young man. And you put the football uniform on him, and he's amazing. I love to see him run. He's just so athletic.
Him and the guys that I recently named are honestly three of the most genuinely good people I've met, to be honest, and you've done a really good job of coaching them.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I think their parents have done a great job of raising them, and we've had a great opportunity to work with them as well.
So you recently got inducted into the Stonehill Hall of Fame. What do you have to say about that?
That's a great question. I'm very grateful and very honored to have that opportunity to go into the Hall of Fame at my college, Stonehill College. It's just an amazing thing. I had a chance to play for one of the legendary coaches, Ray Pepin, who was also the athletic director and basketball and baseball coach here at Hendricken before he went to Stonehill. So I played for him at Stonehill. And, you know, it's just beautiful. Things kind of come full circle. So I'm very grateful. They're having a ceremony on November 1st. I'm actually getting inducted into the Hall of Fame with Coach Ed Cooley, who is one of my very good
Oh,
friends
wow.
on this earth. Ed Cooley is the men's basketball coach at Providence College. So he and I are getting inducted in the same class, and he's one of my good friends, and I'm just thrilled, and it's an honor and a privilege to be inducted at my alma mater with Ed Cooley.
It's amazing.
It's going to be an awesome night, so I'm very excited.
Now, my last question for you. Speaking of Ray Pepin and your predecessor, Mr. Ilianello,
Yeah.
what's it like having to live up to those expectations? Because I don't remember the exact number, but there were a lot of championships won by Mr. Ilianello.
Well, the one thing I've learned from both of them is that winning is not everything. Well, I mean, winning is
That's
a
true. It's always
byproduct of
true.
what you do every single day. It's the effort, it's the character, it's the respect, it's the time, it's that effort that you put into everything that you do, and winning is just a byproduct of that. So I had a chance to work under Paul Ilianello for many years. As a basketball coach, he was my boss, and he never put the pressure on to win, right? I feel that the sign of a great coach is how they bring their team along over the year, right? It's all about improvement and getting better. And so I've learned a lot from both Paul and Ray Pepin, and I'm hoping to impart what I've learned on our coaches and our student athletes over time.
Awesome, Coach. I appreciate you coming
Awesome.
out for the interview.
My pleasure, guys. You guys
I'll
doing a
definitely be
great
seeing you in
job.
the future. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Back to the action now.
All right, so what we missed, a couple short drives by Hendricken and Cumberland. Cumberland had one play where they could have broken loose, but the quarterback overthrew the wide receiver. And here we are. Hendricken's at about the 50-yard line.
Hendricken now with a 4th and 3. Zach Laverne still at quarterback for the Hawks. Tom Camella right next to head coach Keith Croft. And the punt is up. A very nice punt there to about the 20. And the punt goes out of bounds. Out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. I really couldn't tell there. (36-7) now the score is. Hendricken 36 with Cumberland 7. I'm normally not one to count any team out, no matter how big the lead is, but this is one of those things that if Cumberland doesn't get a score soon, I don't see the game going in their favor.
If they do start scoring here, they're going to have to score about four touchdowns plus a 2-pointer here to even tie the game. So they've got a massive hill to climb.
That is true. Cumberland number 16 with the ball.
New quarterback in for Cumberland. Maybe, unless that was a wildcat play of some sort.
It's a first down for Cumberland.
Looks like a wildcat play of some sort. I think the quarterback is still in. Actually, no, it's new quarterback, number 16.
Number 16, about to take the snap. Gonna hand the ball off to the running back. Who's gonna get swarmed in the backfield.
Onye jumped all over him there. He
Jason
absolutely
Onye.
destroyed the right tackle on that play.
Jason Onye, one of those guys who is truly a defensive leader, especially has been this game. An update on Andre Zandujar. He does have his shoulder pads off, so he is not returning tonight. And the third quarter comes to an end now as we head into the fourth. The Hawks 36, Cumberland 7. Going into the fourth quarter, I'm expecting the Hawks to have a pretty much run-heavy game. I mean, only pass if you need to.
Wouldn't expect too much of a change here from Cumberland. They've been running the ball the whole game, and I think they've probably given up on this one, considering they've taken out their starter.
Both teams' offense and defense coming out in the field now. Cumberland about the 29-yard line. 2nd and 10.
Some random girl is taking a picture of us.
So 3rd and 7 for the Hawks.
Turns in for Cumberland.
Cumberland. Oh, sorry.
Maybe a little slant here, but it looks like 16 is going to be a very run-heavy quarterback.
This has been a Wildcat-heavy offense so far since he came in, and the running back will be swarmed now at the line for no gain.
He got folded up there. And looks like the punt team's on for Cumberland.
Punt team coming on for Cumberland now. A new punter in for Cumberland as well. I don't know why Santos was taken out. I don't know if he was injured. I don't know if that was just a decision the coaches made on their own.
Punt out of bounds at around 37. Expect a lot of running here from Hendricken in this fourth quarter.
Hawks offense now coming out with Zach Laverne at quarterback. I believe that means Tom Carell is most likely done for the night.
Expect most of the starters for them are done.
Camilla had an incredible first half with 3 touchdowns and 70 yards rushing, which included a 60-yard touchdown, which is one of the first offensive plays of the game. We're going to run the ball now. Pitch the ball out to Emmanuel. Will be tackled for no gain.
Little option play there. Wonder if that's going to be their main play of choice at this point in the game.
Hawks trying to just trying to kill as much time as possible. $9:50 now left in the third quarter. Clock ticking down. Laverne lined up in the pro set with 2 receivers to his left. Emmanuel behind him. Going to take the snap. Going to hand the ball off to number 50. Laverne
Snap.
fumbles the ball, and I
It's
believe
still
Cumberland has
loose.
it.
Still loose. Cumberland fell on it, but he lost it. One thing I'm sure Coach Croft is going to key on this upcoming week in practice is the snaps. There's been a lot of fumbled snaps this game.
Mishandled and fumbled snaps.
Cumberland football.
Cumberland does gain the ball after that fumble from Zach Laverne.
Hendricken fumble recovered by Cumberland.
Laverne's first game in a little over a year since tearing his ACL against this very Cumberland team. Cumberland's offense going to come back on the field now. Number 16 going to take a snap, hand the ball off to the running back, who will have room to run there. And he is stopped at just about the 11-yard line.
Good play there from blocking. Really opened up there. Might be too expected though, with most of the backups being in at this point.
Number 36, Alex McGovern making his first play as a Hawk. And there's a timeout called.
Hendricken timeout. I think that's their first of the half.
Know someone who couldn't make the game? Tonight's contest is being broadcast live on Facebook and YouTube at hendricken.com/live. Brought to you by the Hawks Broadcast.
Folks, I'm sorry for the long extended periods of silence. For the first time in my life, I don't know what to talk about.
Cumberland getting their first red zone possession of the day, as their first touchdown was a long pass. So we'll see what they do here. Probably most likely they're going to keep it run heavy though.
Cumberland 2nd and 7 on the 13-yard line is what it looks like. Offense coming back out on the field. So take a snap, hand the ball off to the running back. Will be stopped just before crossing the goal line.
Looks like about like the 3.
It's 3rd and inches now for Cumberland.
Wouldn't be surprised if this is 2-down territory here for Cumberland.
And Cumberland will get the first down with that last play with the chains being dropped.
Or not. Probably 4-down territory, I guess.
Cumberland 1st and goal with about 5 yards to go. He's going to take the snap. He's going to Q-back draw straight up the middle. And is he in?
Looks like he's just short.
2 yard, about the
Well, not
2-yard
just
line.
short, yeah.
2nd and goal now for Cumberland. Number 16, Shamir about the quarterback now.
Drop snap. Looks like he fell back on it, but that'll hurt their down situation.
3rd and goal now. Two receivers at the bottom of your screen. One split out wide on the top.
QB draw here.
Quarterback draw to his left.
And he is in. Touchdown.
He's in for the touchdown. Cumberland had 6, making it 36-13 now. Point after team coming out from Cumberland. You know, I'd expect them to try for 2, but it doesn't really surprise me.
Touchdown, Cumberland.
Cumberland going to kick the PAT. Kick is up, and it is right through the uprights. Making it 36-14 now, with 6 minutes left in the game.
The point after is good. The score is Hendricken 36, Cumberland 14.
Hawks getting ready to return now. Number 16, Davey Lynch, backup sophomore quarterback for the Hawks, taking some snaps on the sideline now. Maybe we could see some action out of him. Lynch has been recognized as one of the top baseball players in his class of 2022. Last year on the freshman team, he was able to throw the ball almost 50 to 55 yards, so he does have a cannon. Not expecting the Hawks to unleash him now, however.
He's an
seeing as
outstanding
there's only 6
basketball
minutes
player
left
as
in the
well.
game. That is true. He is starting point guard for the JV team last year. Started with varsity did not start with varsity, but played with varsity during the playoffs. Hawks recover the onside kick attempt.
I think that was more of a squib kick there that just went right to the guy leading off, because that was a 25-yard onside kick. Actually, not 25, 15 yards.
Lynch about to take his first snap as a Hendricken Hawk. At the varsity level, that is.
Hawks recover the onside kick at the 45-yard line. First down.
It's in the power set, and there's a flag on the play. Believe it's too many men in the field there.
Flags on Cumberland. Looks like too many men. Sloppy penalties like that is one of many reasons why Cumberland's not playing well tonight.
Too many men in the field for Cumberland.
Flag on the play. Too many men. Cumberland. 5-yard penalty.
Hawks now with the 1st and 5. Lynch in the power formation. Going to take the snap. Going to hand the ball off to the running back, who will carry it for about a 3-yard gain. Five and a half minutes left now in the game. The Hawks leading by 22. Cumberland needs a big defensive stop here. Lynch back in the power set. The 2 running backs going to hand the ball off. Running back going to go to his right. And he looks like he will gain the first down. Or no.
Drag back, though. Let's see if they give him forward progress here. Didn't get a good spot there. 3rd down.
3rd and inches for the Hawks now.
Let's go.
Expect another run play now. Lynch bringing the play to the huddle. Back on the power formation. Andrew Nolan at the bottom of your screen. Lynch and Nolan had a very good chemistry considering they both played freshman baseball and JV basketball together. Lynch going to hand the ball off, and the running back will be stopped. But a yard loss.
If it was a closer game, I wouldn't be surprised to see Hendricken go for it here, but in this
Punt
type
team
of
is
blowout-
coming on now.
In this type of blowout, it's a clear punt situation.
David Lynch's first drive as a varsity Hawk has been completed. Hawks going to punt it away now from the 40. Punt is up.
Good boot there.
This will reach about the 10-yard line. Cumberland will start from the 10. With 3:36 left in the game, it's your Hendricken Hawks 36, the Cumberland Clippers 14. Hawks back on defense. Lined up in a 3-4. Cumberland will gain no yards in the play. Number 14, Andrew Picard now, younger brother of Jake Picard, over at the cornerback position at the bottom of your screen. And stuffed again by the Hawks defense, making it about 3rd and 4 for the Clippers. Cumberland going to quarterback draw to the right. Quarterback going to go right through the middle, and we'll gain a first down there. A 6-yard run there.
Big stop there. About a 5-yard loss for Cumberland.
Cumberland now 2nd and 15.
Maybe even more. They really lost a lot on that play. And with their backups, Hendricken defense is still just stifling Cumberland's offense.
No, wait, and you're only a freshman, so you may not know this, but Hendricken's one of those teams that, yes, it is considered one of the best athletic programs in the country, but they have guys who are 3rd stringers on this team that would start anywhere else in the state. Guarantee you.
Best depth. Best depth in the state.
Best depth in the state easily. Cumberland going to be stopped again behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down now.
Lost even more on that one. It's like 3rd and 20, and there hasn't even been a penalty on this set of downs. And we're under a minute to play here.
"19 seconds left in the game. I have not been keeping track of the time."
But it looks like we're going to end the game here.
And that's it for tonight, folks.
Nope. Timeout, Cumberland.
Oh, it's a timeout, Cumberland. Never mind. About 13 seconds left in the game now. Hawks will move to 2-0 this season. Cumberland moving to 0-2. Next Friday, the Hawks will face North Kingstown at 7 o'clock. When North Kingstown will be unveiling their brand new turf field.
And around here, and he's getting stuffed. Fumble.
Coming up, Hawks ball. Number 36, Alan McGovern, going to score! It's a touchdown for McGovern, his first touchdown. McGovern's first touchdown as a varsity Hawk. And that will cap off the game.
Doesn't look like they ruled it a touchdown down at the 1, but it's still a great play.
Down at the 1. A very nice game played on both sides of the ball. The final from Dennis B. Hayden Memorial Stadium, the Hendricken Hawks 36, Cumberland Clippers 14. We hope to see you next time on the Hawks Broadcast Network. I'm TJ Denault, signing out with my partner.
Aiden Weiss.
Thank you. Have a nice night, folks.